stop watching the news because you don't really need it. It's definitely messing around with your focus, and it's one biggest reason that you're stressed. And here's why. I'm gonna share some points with you that are in my head and what I experienced by myself. And then you can decide by your own if you believe me or if you go your own way. So let me definitely know what you think about it. So, why am I thinking that news is the biggest cause of stress in our modern life? I think news is nothing else than information, and the majority of news is definitely also bad information. So that's something. Bad information is always connected to something that's stressing you. When we go back to Stone Age, for example, when we got there some bad information, then we always had to act. For example, there was a tiger, and if we don't want to get eaten by them, then we have to change our location, we have to run away, we have to protect us, we have to protect our family and something like this. So I think in the modern world, the mind hasn't really changed. So we definitely are still in this mood that we think we have to act, we have to do something about it. But here's the point, in the modern news, there are so many things you can't really change. If you're thinking about war and accidents or something else, it's always terrible, for real. War is one of the terriblest things humanity ever created. And I hope really that I can change something about it. For example, with my videos, with my actions, and maybe we can live one day in peace together. But I think if you're just listening to news about war, you can't really change something. What do you want to do about it? I think it's definitely important if you're directly influenced by it. For example, if you're living in a war zone or something like this. But if you, for example, in Europe and you're listening to stuff what's happening out in the world, then you should maybe know what's happening, but not every day. Because I think it doesn't help you to know where the other bomb attack or whatever was. Because what should you do about it? You can spend some money, you can maybe pray for them, but I think much more you can't really do in your position. It's something political, it's something in this location, and I think you really have to focus on the things you can change. For example, you can take action, you can work on yourself, you can create some skills or organizations to, for example, act against war, you can create some organizations to end global hunger, and I'm respecting these people are doing this because I think it's so hard and it has such a big benefit for humanity. So keep going. But if you, as your lonely person on the way to work, watching in the bus some news, scrolling through the titles, and you're just thinking, oh my god, the world is gonna end in 1 week, then it doesn't help you in any way. So just stop it and focus on the right things. But how am I doing it, for example? I'm watching the news like once a week, maybe. So I'm just checking out the main titles, what happened in the last week, and then I know around about what's happening, and maybe there are some important information for you, for example, some new rules in Germany or whatever, what's happening. But if you really think about the daily stuff you're always facing, most of the things are forgotten in a few weeks and not really relevant for you. And here's the reason why it's definitely stress for you. I think the main reason in the today's society for stress is too much information. You can consume such a big amount of information every day with social media, with news, and with everything else, and the brain can't really filter what's important for you and what's not. So it's just a mixture and a chaos in your brain, in your mind, and you can't really focus, you can't really sort out what's happening, and then it's no wonder that you're just running around and trying to solve these things, and you have always this feeling in yourself, oh my god, there's something happening in the world. And maybe there are also successful things happening in your day or in your life. So maybe you passed an exam in the uni, or maybe you had a great day in your job, you did some successful things, but then at the same time you have always in your mind that in the world is happening something terrible. For example, okay, yes, I graded this. I graded my exam in biology or whatever. I'm pretty happy about it. But oh my god, what the fuck is happening in Israel, for example? What's happening in the world? And you're always in this mood that you think, I want to do something about it, but you cannot really do something. And if we go back again into Stone Age, at this time, I think every information was relevant for you. You always had to act, as I said, and it was definitely important for you to stay alive. But I think it has changed. In today's society, we don't really need it. If you think about the news, nothing is so relevant right now that you die tomorrow if you don't have watched the news, for example. And this is the main problem. If you're always consuming it, then your brain cannot really relax because it's always in this alarm mood. Something is happening in the world, something bad is happening. And then you definitely have to reduce your news consume. You maybe also have to work on your social media stuff, but it's another topic. And I think this is fucking important, okay? So just work on it. Try to focus on positive things and maybe just check out the news once a week. That's definitely enough for you because you don't need this daily confrontation of bad news, okay? So let me definitely know what you think about it. Maybe you have a completely different perspective on it and maybe you're changing mine. So let me know in the comments and see you in the next video.